Sometimes I've felt regret at improving my life. I have gone from feeling like I was an ugly, horrible person that no one could possibly love, that had just had to find ways of coping with life to survive, to being able to enjoy life and thrive and realize that I can be liked and I can be loved. And because I've made such significant changes, especially over the past 10 years since I've started in therapy and, I've become a completely different person than who I was before, I look back at the first 3 decades of my life and I just see so much waste. I see so much missed opportunity for real connection with people. I see so much time when I felt ugly and discarded and useless and like this was the very best I could manage in life, this crap, horrible existence. And I didn't need to feel like that. I could have had loving relationships. I could have been such a different person. I had so much potential and I didn't realize how much potential I had until so much later. And now I'm age 41 and I realize I'm on the decline. I can see my hair starting to thin. Okay, maybe it looks like I've got plenty of hair still and it's better than many guys, but I know that I've reached my peak already. And from here, it's mainly downhill in terms of appearance. I mean, certainly there's further ways I can develop as a person and I will continue to grow. But there are opportunities that I had earlier in my life that I missed because I didn't realize that I had them. And if I could put my brain now back into my much younger self, I would have lived my life a completely different way. Essentially, as I've said before, I've had to become the father that I wish I had, that I didn't realize that I needed, that I certainly didn't have at the time. And I spoke to 2 friends who made similar major improvements in their life, and something that we all resonated with is this idea that it feels like you were put in prison at a young age for a crime you didn't commit, and then you're let out in your 30s, and so much of normal life that everyone else got to experience, you missed out on. And now you're picking up the pieces much, much later. So yeah, there's a sense of regret. There's a sense of, I wish I knew what I knew now when I was younger. And for some people, the solution is to get really, really frenetic and anxious about every moment, to say, well, I wasted so much time before, so now I'm going to make every second of every minute of every hour count. And they get this kind of Gary V-like obsession with making the best out of every moment, which I'm not saying is a completely bad thing, but it does have that underlying anxiety there. And I think you can make mistakes in both directions. I remember thinking, oh, well, it doesn't matter who I marry because my life isn't worth that much anyway. And then I married someone who's completely unsuitable for me and that I had to put up with treatment that I would never put up with now. But there's also the other extreme of living your life in this panic where you can't really relax. You can't really just go with the flow because you're constantly worried about whether or not you're making the best opportunity. What if this relationship isn't the best you could possibly get? What if this job isn't the best you could do? And you're never really satisfied with what you have. The opposite of crazy is still crazy. I think there's this middle way of not living your life like it's worthless and throwing it away, and not living your life in panic as if any opportunity that wasn't fully taken advantage of and wasn't fully realized is a disaster. Because life is basically a game. We are not going to get every part of it right. We are going to make mistakes. You can look back and say, I wish that I knew better when I was younger, but don't waste too much time on that because the person that you wish you were never existed. And the person who was there had to live that way in order to get to where you are now. If you resonated with that idea of being stuck in a prison, then suddenly let out, and you're experiencing life fully at a time when everyone else has been experiencing it for much longer than you, and you feel like you're really late to the game, maybe it wasn't so much a prison, but maybe it was just a way of being born into this life. I like to say we are many people in this lifetime. And I don't think I would be the person I was today if I had a safe, normal life. Maybe I would be a lot more mediocre. And I probably wouldn't have had the somewhat crazy experiences I've had in life. Speaking of crazy, people are beeping their horns outside because they're stuck in traffic and it's the end of the world. Anyway, not sure if you heard that, but it's probably a pretty good point to end this video. Hope this was useful to someone. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon, because YouTube pretty much doesn't tell anyone when I release a video anymore, unless they've had that notification on. Thank you very much for listening, and see you next time.